Hi YouTube, it's me Corey. It's almost Thanksgiving. It's Monday before Thanksgiving. We have a lot of snow here in Michigan right now. I just want to talk about why I decided to leave the Exodus place and what my plan for the future is right now. So, I lived, for those of you who don't know, I lived in the Exodus place, which is a transitional living program for homeless men in Grand Rapids. Um, Usually, people who are sleeping outside, we kind of get first placement. Um, and it's a good program, so I don't want to bash it too much. But after being there for a month and a half, almost 2 months, I decided to leave. And let me explain why. The biggest issue was I couldn't get my medication for my schizoaffective disorder. I couldn't get it whenever I wanted to. I couldn't get it. I like to, in order for this medication to work and be effective, it has to be taken around the same time every morning. So I like to take it at 6 or 7 in the morning, maybe 8 o'clock at the latest, first thing when I wake up. And I can't always do that because there's times where they don't let you if you have a mental disability, they don't let you keep your medication. The nurse has to keep your medication for you. And the problem with that is there's times you'll go down there to get it and they'll be like, "Oh, she's in a meeting," or "Oh, she's on the phone," or "Oh, she's not here," or "She's not going to be here till tomorrow," or shit like that. So they withheld my medication for me 4 times, and the last time was about a week before I was about to leave. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back that made me fully decide to leave, because I didn't get my medication until 4:30 that day. I came down there, and sure enough, Jen, the nurse, was gone, and nobody was there to give out medicine. And I kind of had a little bit of outbursts and kind of went off on the staff. I had a bipolar moment. But that was kind of the main reason, because that was like the fourth time it happened. And those of who know me, you don't play around with my schizoaffective medicine. You don't cut me off that shit. I gotta have that. So, um, yeah, that was my deciding factor. The other thing is just some of the things that are going on at the Exodus place. You pay $664 a month in rent. And that goes to a room that is a prison cell, because the building itself is a former correctional facility. It used to be a reentry program for Michigan Department of Corrections. And so you're basically living inside of a prison, or what used to be a prison. And you get a cell. It's like a jail cell that's converted into an apartment. So you get a cell that you have to share with another man. You don't even get your cell to yourself. You have to share it with another man for $664 a month. Now, it was just kind of rough, you guys. My roommate was kind of on the messy side, and um, had anger problems. Out of all the people they could have put me with, they put me with this gangster ass dude who was actually a really cool guy. Like, there were a few nights where we stayed up and we just talked all hours of the night with each other and really got to learn a lot about each other. It was pretty cool. But he did have some serious anger problems, and towards the end that kind of freaked me out, because like, if he were to get mad at the staff, which was like a lot, and I do understand why, because they are kind of unprofessional, but um, you know, every time he would get mad at them, it's like he would just kind of be in an all around pissy mood, and I just didn't really want to deal with that. So that was kind of another deciding factor to move. So too expensive, ghetto roommates, and I mean, not that he was a bad person, but, um, and the medication thing. And then the other thing is I just can't stand being around the people there. Like, I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything, but like, a lot of people there are on SSI and food stamps. And that's cool, I'm glad they're getting help. But like they're the type of people that don't really have any goals, that this is as far as they're ever going to go. You know what I mean? Like I'm on, you guys know my situation. I've been on welfare more times than we can count, on and off since I was 18. I've had SSDI and health insurance since 2017, January 2017. So, I'm not trying to like bash people on the system and stuff like that. But like, if you look at my case and you look at like other people I know that are on welfare, like we're either working or hustling in addition to it. Like we're not just being content with welfare. Like, I worked at KFC this year. I worked at QuickTime Burritos and Tacos this year. Last year, I volunteered for 3 or 4 months at Other Way Ministries. When I lived in Washington, I volunteered at South End Fellowship Kent. That's the AA meeting hall that I went to when I was in Washington. We're always doing something, and like, I know a lot of guys who will maybe get SSI or SSDI and sell weed on top of that, or hustle something, and I have respect for that because that's a job too, so it's better than just sitting around and doing nothing at all, so you see what I'm saying. And at the Exodus place, it's like they're not working and they're not hustling. They're just doing nothing at all except eating and watching TV all day, every day, eating and watching TV. Like, this is as far as they're going to go. There's no ambition, there's no drive. And some people just, even though it's transitional living, some people just live there for years and years and are content with that. So, I didn't really make too many friends when I was living there. There was this one guy who was a recovering addict who I did talk to, who I really liked a lot. I don't know whatever happened to him. Well, he probably doesn't know whatever happened to me. I kind of left abruptly without telling anybody. One of my old friends who's a druggie lived there, and that probably wasn't a good thing because we ended up using together. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really, I don't know. It was just kind of, at first I really liked it, but towards the end it was just kind of a bad experience. So, all right, guys, that's why I moved out of the Exodus place. Oh, for my plans as far as to what's gonna happen now, is I got a few different options. I'm gonna have to stay in the emergency shelter at least until I get my check next month, because probably actually till January, because next month I got to pay off some debts to some people who I've owed money to since last summer. So that's going to cost about half of my check. Then I'll have the other half of my check left that I'm going to save. And that's only going to be about $400 or $500. So I can't really get housing with that. So in January, when I have everything saved up and I get my full check without owing anybody money, I think I'm going to pay off my eviction. And then after that, with the money I have left, maybe rent a room or get a hotel room somewhere, or try to get into clean and sober living. I'm trying to get into clean and sober living right now through Network 180, but it's kind of a hassle. You have to go through residential treatment. So now I'm on the waiting list for residential treatment, but that takes 3 to 6 weeks to get into. So that's probably not going to happen right away. And then IOP, we're trying to get me into IOP because my therapist at Hope Network is really pushing me to get into some type of substance abuse treatment, because the substance abuse has been my biggest problem the past 2 years, she says. So we're going to try to get me into something for that. So yeah, that's kind of what the plan is. I have a few different options for housing. Probably be going back to work pretty soon here. That's about it. Hope everybody's doing well and I hope your week is off to a good start. If you have any questions, just let me know. Peace, guys.